This is Luna Nightshade with Everything is Vegan But, and I am going to be working on making the vegan clam chowder. So right now what we have here is some garlic, onion, as well as some chorizo sausage that we're going to be cooking. Get this browned. I de-skinned it, and I'm going to add some of the oyster mushrooms we got. Got a little bit of oyster mushrooms. We're going to add that to that and let this cook. All right, so we're going to get this cooking in some oil, some more oil, just because we want to get this oily flavor, because we're not using a broth. We're going to be only using water and coconut creamer as the chowder base. So we want to get this nice, just get a lot of flavor sticking to the pot. So when we start to add the potatoes and all the other seasonings, we will have a good basis for it. And that way these mushrooms also are soaking up some flavor before we add the water to it. And stuff. We just want to get lots of flavor into this pot first before we start adding the liquids, because the liquids will kind of water some of it down. But one of the things we're not using right now is salt. Reasoning is that we're going to be adding, to get some of the seafood flavor, the Zatarain's crab oil. Now we're not going to be using all of this. The ingredients do not have any animal in it. It even has palm oil, which I'm really glad about. So we're going to be using this to kind of give the flavor enhancer for that seafood kind of flavor in the chowder. Chowder gets its name because it's a one pot or one cauldron meal, meaning everything is cooked in the same pot. Usually start off with a meat-based sausage or bacon, and then you add potatoes and I guess, what is it, clam juice, and then, you know, the liquids and all of that stuff. But so we're starting off with the chorizo. I chose this just because I like spice. As you guys have figured out, I like spice. And so I wanted to, I've never used this sausage before. So I wanted to try this out. I got a little bit of garlic skin in here. But, so we're going to just keep cooking this down. And then I'm going to add some carrots into this. Get these carrots kind of flavorful, and then we will add the potatoes and water. Be right back. Sorry about this. Pause button not working. So here's the carrots. this up. I already know I want to add another onion to this. Again, like I said, I'm trying to create a nice broth using the seasonings and the vegetables that we're using already. So I'm creating a broth in the pot by cooking these down. So I'm going to add another shallot to give it some good flavor. And then we'll add potatoes. Alright, so now I've added the shimeji mushrooms. These are supposed to provide that fish flavor. So again, because I'm not using a broth, I am go ahead and sauteing these a bit with the mix that we already have, so we can kind of get more flavor that's going to be released out of once we add the liquids. And so the potatoes, what the potatoes are going to do, they're just going to soak up the flavor, make everything bind together more. But look at this. This is looking good. It's smelling great. It's smelling great. Oh, look at it. Oh my goodness, I feel so good. I mean, you should be feeling healed just watching this, because I sure am feeling pretty good. Look at that. Ooh-wee. So I started getting a tingle in my feet. That's usually a good indication that I can now add my potatoes. Now my potatoes have been soaking in some healing waters that I created, some crystal water. So I'm going to be adding the love in just a moment. Alright, so here's potatoes, water, mix this all in. I'm going to add a little bit more water. And then I'm going to add the seafood boil seasonings. Not going to use the whole packet by all means. That's a lot of salt. Alright, so we've added the crab oil salt. It's probably about just a quarter of the packet for right now. We're just going to see how that changes. See how that changes the flavor. Because again, you never want to add too much salt. So right now, that already tastes like just enough. Wow, I did not use